I'm Amy Anderson for the OptionRally News Team. Let's take a look at the global market highlights and news that all traders and investors should be aware of. Netflix takes the gold. Janet Yellen's testimony shows continued tapering, and China's trade balance soars. Let's take a quick look at what's happening in the global markets now. Wall Street continued its four-day winning streak and closed with solid gains as Federal Reserve Chairman Janet Yellen pledged to keep interest rates low and continue to taper the pace of bond purchases if the economy keeps improving. The Dow Jones Industrial Average briefly topped 16,000. Yellen's testimony painted a fairly rosy picture of the U.S. economy, which gave traders confidence to jump into their markets and leave their previous risk-off mode. In light of the two lackluster jobs reports in a row, the fact that Yellen is continuing with tapering is giving investors confidence that the weather issues are transitory and that emerging market concerns are not big enough to drag the U.S. into a recession. In global markets, European stocks closed sharply higher, led by gains in Germany. Asian shares rallied for a fourth straight session on Wednesday as upbeat trade data from China and an optimistic economic outlook from Yellen sharpened investors' appetite for risk. Shares of Netflix are trading near all-time high. The company is continuing to bask in the glow of last month's incredible earnings report. If there were a gold medal for stocks, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings would be at the top of the podium. Netflix has made a name for itself with its own content, most notably House of Cards, the award-winning political drama starring Kevin Spacey and Robin Wright. In the foreign exchange market, the greenback slipped against the yen in Asia this morning after climbing late on Tuesday in response to the new Federal Reserve chief's pledge to maintain the bank's monetary policy, while U.S. lawmakers agreed to raise the debt ceiling. The greenback bought 102.57 yen, while the euro dipped to 1.3631. China's trade surplus surged in January according to data that showed exports strengthening in a potentially brighter note for the world's second biggest economy after a disappointing performance of late. This news helped send the Aussie and the Kiwi climbing above their recent trading ranges. Both currencies are trading well in the green. The Australian dollar has held above 90 US cents after new United States Federal Reserve Chief Janet Yellen explained plans for continuity on US monetary policy and continue to gain on Chinese data. The pound sterling is weak ahead of today's all-important inflation report. Moving to the commodities market, gold gave back some of its sharp overnight, but was still trading near its highest in 3 months on assurances from the new Federal Reserve Chair that there would be no abrupt changes to U.S. monetary policy. Gold fell 0.4% to $1286.10. The metal hit a 3-month high of $1293.44 on Tuesday. Brent crude climbed towards $109 a barrel today after upbeat Chinese data raised optimism of continued growth in oil demand in the world's second largest economy. China's exports beat expectations, rising 10.6% in January from a year earlier, while imports jumped 10%, signaling a reversal of the recent economic slowdown. Crude oil imports in the world's biggest net oil importer rose 11.9% in January from a year earlier to a record 28.16 million tons or 6.63 million barrels per day. This is Amy Anderson from OptionRally signing off. Follow me on Facebook and watch for our new financial terms of the day and our weekly event news.